While the whole town is sleeping, I find my heart keeping a run.
Bunson, isn't life fantastic? Look around us. The peace and serenity of nature. A cloudless day. The sun shining brightly. A gentle breeze in the air. The grass is green, the sky is blue, life is quiet, without a trouble or care to ruin a moment. Isn't it great to be alive, Bunson? What? Oh, yeah, Jingles, it's a great day. Very pretty. The sun is blue, sky is green. Nice day. Yes, sir, very nice. A blue sun, green sky. Bunson, are you all right? What's going on? Why are you trembling? I ain't trembling, Jingles. My Uncle George, he done tremble a lot. Course, that's only when he don't get enough vitamin D. Or was that my skinny Uncle Bob? Nah, he trembled because he was so afraid his wife was gonna beat him up when he came home drunk every Saturday night. No, he didn't come home drunk. That was my fat Uncle Harold. Uncle Bob was the epileptic. He shook so violently in his sleep sometimes, his wife got them bunk beds. I don't know how we ended up cousins, Bunson. The two of us are so different, but not as different as we are from the generation that preceded us. Yeah, preceded. Like standing in the line at the supermarket, with the person in front of you farting, and the person behind you sneezing. No wonder our little town has the worst case of sniffles in a century. Bunson, I'm getting the feeling that there is something you aren't telling me, although, even if you did, I'm not sure your current state of mind would explain things very clearly. Is something going on, Bunson? You look like a nervous wreck. You aren't paying attention to anything I say, that you're on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Breakdown, if only. That would be so's nice, Jingles, so's nice. If only their ship would stop working, then I could finally get some sleep at night. Those there lights keep waking me up, and the click, click, click of their footsteps scares the daylights out of me. Bunson, I've learned to respect your intellect. After what we've been through, I no longer take what you say for granted, that it's fantasy or anything. I know something is seriously plaguing your thoughts. Just spit it out, Bunson. Say what's going on. It can't be all bad, can it? You're right, Jingles. I gots to tell somebody. It may as well be you. You believe in such things on a scientific level. Maybe you'll take the next step and believe in science fiction coming to life. You see, Jingles, every night for the last week, I've been abducted by aliens. Bunson, aliens? Honest? Aliens? Bunson, this started out as such a peaceful day. The sky, the trees, the grass. There is a breeze in the air. School is out. Mom's home baking a pie. Now this. You. Aliens? You're really being abducted by aliens? Tell me this is a joke, Bunson. Please, tell me you're just playing some kind of grand trick on your uptight cousin. Bunson, did you see that? Where did that light come from? Bunson, why aren't you answering? Your dear little cousin is once again my prisoner, little giraffe. A fate you'll share soon enough as well. Eventually, the entire sleepy community will be mine. Why couldn't Bunson have been playing a trick on me? Trips to the past, sea turkeys, now aliens. Why can't I have a cousin like Patty Duke had? A cute little cousin with an adorable accent. But now, I get a bear with the table manners of a lion in the wild, and the ability to attract trouble like a politician running for president. Well, as far as aliens go, you're unique, aren't you, Mr. I am Captain M.T. I command the Space Armada, known as the Clogged, an intergalactic community of life forms whose sole purpose in life is to find planets loaded with candy, raid them, and grow fat in their complacency. as the dominant life forms of the universe. Most dominant life forms? How can you be the most anything if your only purpose in life is to raid a Hershey chocolate factory? With all this technology you have, you could do anything you want, yet all you want is to rob a candy store? Well, if that's your destiny, I just don't envy you all the trips you'll need to the dentist. Anyway, where's Bunson? Don't worry about your little fat friend. He's in no danger so long as he cooperates with us. As for you, Giraffe... My name is Jingles. What's the difference? We of the Clogged recently became aware of your tiny little oasis of chocolate on this mud ball known as Earth. It's a planet larger than most we've raided, yet we feel confident that our methods will prove effective. Still, never having truly tried to take this much candy at one time, a test run is in order. I don't care. Where's my cousin, you bald-headed baboon? Yes, a test run. We choose your sleepy town because of you and your lion friend, and the TV show you produce. The content you broadcast is right up our alley, so to speak. Old educational films that long ago passed their usefulness, yet you still show them. What a perfect setup for us. You've already conditioned the people of Waterford to the dullest and most boring films ever created. Why, all we have to do is step in. Listen here, Uncle Fester. I don't care how Lazar and I fit into this plan of yours. I don't even care what your plans are for our TV show. I want Bunson, and I want him back right now. We've already got your lion cousin on board our spaceship. He's safely under lock and key. Let's just say he's getting a first-hand look at how our spaceship works. That just leaves you, little Giraffe. My name is Jingles, Jingles. Once we have you aboard, under guard with Lazar, we'll begin our plan. We are going to take over your little public access show and introduce the worst films of all time to your viewing audience. These are short films which are so bad, any who watch them will feel their life's energy drained and leave them totally open to suggestion. Hypnosis, my friend, hypnosis. We are going to leave everyone in Waterford in total oblivion for a time. While the residents take a nice long nap, we'll rob every candy store in the township. Once our plan is proven successful, we'll take over your major broadcast networks and rob the world of all its candy. A perfectly devilish plan, don't you think? Ha 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 ha! Considering how fat the world is getting, I personally think you're doing them a favor. That's beside the point, Captain Empty. This is the last time I ask this. Either you take me to Lazar now, or... Or what, Giraffe? What can you possibly do to stop me? I grow weary of this conversation. Time is short. I've much to do. Be off, Giraffe. To the bridge with you. All right, viewers. I don't know what Jingles had planned to show you today, but the script has changed. Look closely into your view screens. Stare deeply into the black and white flashing before your eyes. Let your mind drift and open itself to total oblivion. For now, I present for your misery, more dangerous than dynamite. Let the despair and drivel that make the short so mind-numbingly bad take over your thoughts and leave you helpless. Look and abandon all hope, residents of Waterford.
people know of the fire hazards of gasoline and other flammable fluids, but have not grasped the complete picture of the dangers involved. The woman using gasoline in her kitchen or elsewhere in the home with a false idea of economy does not fully realize the true high explosive character of a mixture of air and gasoline vapor. On the other hand, in dry cleaning establishments such as this, which have been licensed by the state, all work is under the supervision of men who are familiar with the properties of gasoline and experienced in fire prevention precautions. All garments to be cleaned are placed in one of these cylindrical metal washers. The gasoline or solvent is stored many feet underground in fireproof tanks. When needed, just the right amount, clean and filtered, is pumped into the washer. The housewife, however, keeps her whole supply unprotected beside her. She is subject to distractions by other domestic duties during the time she is dry cleaning, and others, even her children, are exposed to this unnecessary peril. Fire inspectors constantly check state-controlled dry cleaning plants to see that fire safeguards are in good working order. All machinery and metal parts are grounded to water pipes against vagrant currents and static electricity. Even interior metal parts are grounded with heavy copper wire. This fusible link melts at 160 degrees and closes the washer door. When this one melts, the weight drops, automatically opening a dump valve in the bottom of the washer. The solvent is instantly drained safely into the underground tanks, removing the danger. But what chance has the housewife without these safeguards? These overhead steam outlets are operated from an outside valve, filling the room with live steam to smother the fire. If an explosion occurs, these roof hatches open automatically to relieve the force. All lights are controlled by outside switches to avoid the danger from an electric arc. Electric lights are under vapor-proof globes. Fire extinguishers are plainly marked with the date of last filling. Again, the fusible link coupling is brought into use, this time to hold fireproof doors open against gravity. A pull on this valve releases steam into the washer room. But where are the steam valves here? Heavy vapors are drawn through the roof by an air duct. However, fire shuts this draft off. Here, fresh air is admitted to help carry off the vapors. Asbestos blankets placed outside each building provide protection for the workers. In this dry tumbler, suction fans withdraw the solvent vapors and expel them safely. Should the improbable happen, despite these precautions, the explosion would only force the hatches open against the valve lever, and presto, the tumbler is flooded with fire-smothering steam. But still no protecting steam for the housewife. Fires are extremely rare in state-supervised cleaning plants. However, should one occur, here's how these safeguards work. All doors close automatically. Live steam, deadliest foe of fire. Surrounded by dangers, the room slowly filling with flammable vapor, which even a tiny spark will explode. Fire on the stove. Flames under the water heater. Even if she does her cleaning outdoors, there is still the greatest danger of all, the invisible menace of static electricity. Don't run. That fans the blaze. That's it. Wrap her up. Wait, not over her head. She'll inhale the flames. Even doctors, all too familiar with pain and suffering, are touched by the needlessness of such a scene as this. But what of the other victims of this useless tragedy? The anxious father, the bewildered children, motherless perhaps. No, fortunately not in this case, but their pretty mother withered and scarred for life.
Lazar, what happened? 1 minute, I'm listening to an alien talk about robbing candy stores. The next, I'm here with you. Are you all right, Lazar?
Yes, Jingles, I'm fine. So far, these aliens haven't done anything but stare at me. As for where we are, your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea whatsoever.
Have you been here long, Lazar? How did you get here?
Well, this morning I was laying in bed, trying to decide if I wanted to sleep in or get up and get an early start on playing video games. Then I see a bright flash of light in my room. Then I hear something like click, 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 click. So I turn around in bed, and there are all these creatures staring at me. I was petrified. I couldn't talk. Then this big bald alien says something. I couldn't really hear him, or maybe I was just too scared to listen carefully. Anyway, then this small alien guy says something back, and the next thing I know, I'm standing right here. A little while later, you appear out of thin air.
You haven't seen Bunson since you've been here.
I can't say that I have, although I'm not really surprised that he's involved in this somehow. How is it that we always seem to get caught up in whatever craziness goes on in his life? Wherever he is, I'm sure he's all right. Somehow, he is always protected from any fallout from the schemes he's into.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 we end up having to clean up his messes. But I've got a feeling this is that 1 out of 10 where we're all in this together. I saw Bunson briefly this morning, and he described the scene much as you have. Whatever is going on involves not only the 3 of us, but the entire township of Waterford. Then the world. That bald alien told me something of his plan, and I can assure you that this is not Bunson's fault.
How can you be so sure, Jingles?
The alien told me that he'd seen our show, and that it was just what he needed to test a takeover of humanity. We, too, may not hold sole responsibility for what's going on, but it does seem that we're the only ones who can put a stop to it.
But what can we do, Jingles, against an army of aliens like this, against Baldy?
Are you sure these aliens haven't said or done anything since you've been here? Are you sure you haven't heard anything over an intercom, or just the aliens talking amongst themselves?
Not one word, Jingles. Before you got here, the only one who was talking was me. I may as well have been talking to myself for all the good it did.
Well, let me think. There's got to be a way to instigate these aliens into interacting with us. Let me think. This is the captain to all ship's personnel. The plan is proceeding as intended. Data from first film is being relayed to the ship's computer. Waterford's collective IQ has dropped 20 points, and 50% of the population already in a stupefied state. Prepare airing of secondary feature, duck and cover. Make preparations to land the ship, then unleash the clog to collect all candy from Waterford.
Jingles.
I know, Lazar. Perhaps one of the worst educational films ever created. Nobody is going to be able to stay conscious after seeing this film. We're running out of time. Whatever we do, we must do it quickly, for our sakes, for Bunson's, and for all our neighbors in Waterford.
That's why these children are practicing to duck and cover just as you do in your school. We all know the atomic bomb is very dangerous. Since it may be used against us, we must get ready for it, just as we are ready for many other dangers that are around us all the time. Fire is a danger. It can burn whole buildings if someone is careless. But we are ready for fires. We have a fine fire department to put out the fire, and you have fire drills in your school so you know what to do. Automobiles can be dangerous too. They sometimes cause bad accidents, but we are ready. We have safety rules that car drivers and people who are walking must obey. Now, we must be ready for a new danger, the atomic bomb. First, you have to know what happens when an atomic bomb explodes. You will know when it comes. We hope it never comes, but we must get ready. It looks something like this. There is a bright flash, brighter than the sun, brighter than anything you've ever seen. If you are not ready and did not know what to do, it could hurt you in different ways. It could knock you down hard or throw you against a tree or a wall. It is such a big explosion, it can smash in buildings and knock signboards over and break windows all over town. But if you duck and cover like Bert, you will be much safer. You know how bad sunburn can feel. The atomic bomb flash could burn you worse than a terrible sunburn, especially where you're not covered. Now, you and I don't have shells to crawl into like Bert the turtle, so we have to cover up in our own way. First, you duck, and then you cover. And very tightly, you cover the back of your neck and your face. Duck and cover underneath a table or desk or anything else close by. In Betty's school, they are talking about the atomic bomb, too. Betty is asking her teacher, how can we tell when the atomic bomb may explode? And her teacher is explaining that there are two kinds of attack, with warning and without any warning. We think that most of the time we will be warned before the bomb explodes, so there will be time for us to get into our homes, schools, or some other safe place. Our civil defense workers and our men in uniform will do everything they can to warn us before enemy planes can bring a bomb near us. You may be in your schoolyard playing when the signal comes. That signal means to stop whatever you are doing and get to the nearest safe place fast. Always remember, the flash of an atomic bomb can come at any time, no matter where you may be. You might be out playing at home when the warning comes. Then be sure to get into the house fast, where your parents have fixed a safe place for you to go. If you are not close to home when you hear the warning, go to the nearest safe cover. Know where you are to go, or ask an older person to help you. You know the places marked with the S sign? They're safe places to go when you hear the alarm. If there is a warning, you will hear it before the bomb explodes. But sometimes, and this is very, very important, sometimes the bomb might explode without any warning. Then the first thing we would know about it would be the flash. And that means duck and cover fast, wherever you are. There's no time to look around or wait. Here they are on their way to school on a beautiful spring day. But no matter where they go or what they do, they always try to remember what to do if the atom bomb explodes right then. It's a bomb. Duck and cover. Paul and Patty know what to do. Paul covered the back of his head so that he wouldn't be burned, and Patty covered herself with the coat she was carrying. They knew how to duck and cover. They acted right away when the flash came. If they had been at this doorway when the bomb flashed, Paul and Patty would have ducked and covered this way, like this girl. Heavy doorways are a good place to duck and cover. She will be safer, too. Yes, we must all get ready now, so we know how to save ourselves if the atomic bomb ever explodes near us. If you do not know just what to do, ask your teacher when this film is over. Discuss what you could do in different places if a bomb explodes. Older people will help us as they always do, but there might not be any grown-ups around when the bomb explodes. Then, you're on your own.
Remember what to do, friends. Now tell me right out loud. What are you supposed to do when you see the flash?
All right, that does it. I'm seriously getting ticked off. It's not bad enough that we have to stand around this spaceship, but to have to listen to drivel like duck and cover, that's just too much. Who is in charge here? Who's second in command to Elmer Fudd? Down there on the planet. I know you're here, whomever you are. I demand that you speak to us.
See, Jingles, it doesn't do any good. They just continue to stare at us, like they are in a trance themselves.
Maybe they are, Lazar. Maybe that's the only way Popeye can keep a crew under his command. Okay, you ask for it. I may not be as smart as someone like Bunson, but I'm not exactly helpless either. If you don't appear right now, I'm going to ransack this ship until I find Bunson. Then we'll take over the controls and crash it into Lake St. Clair if we have to. I'm giving you to the count of 5 to appear. If you don't, you've had it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're very brave, Mr. Jingles, but not very bright, are you? You have no chance to taking over this ship. You've no chance of finding your cousin. You can't leave this room unless we authorize your exit. You are a prisoner here, you and your cousin Lazar. There is no escape. You will remain here with us until both of you and Bunson have served our purposes.
Don't underestimate a giraffe, buddy. We've been on Earth a lot longer than human beings, and we're still going strong. We may not look like much, but when it comes to getting out of jams, we are second to none.
Self-confidence was a trait I thought lost on this marble in an ocean of blackness. It's refreshing to hear someone speak with intelligence, even if it is misguided.
You don't sound like your captain, Commander.
I am Commander Swirly, first mate of this ship.
It seems as if you've got your act together, Swirly. A lot more than that idiot robbing candy stores 10 miles below. How can someone with your obvious intelligence work for someone whose head can't even grow hair, much less a good idea?
That is not your concern, Mr. Jingles. Your only concern is to fulfill your destiny on this ship. Serve your purpose, if you will. Let not anything else run through your mind, for it will only prove a distraction and delay the inevitable.
Lazar and I will never serve a purpose for you. This ship, this horde, or Homer Simpson on a planet. We'll sit here and rot before we help you. That goes for Bunson as well. He'd never submit to being your stooge.
How little you know your own cousin, Mr. Jingles, for he already is working on the assignment we gave him. Through his efforts, our conquest of Waterford is assured.
Bunson, you idiot! If I ever get my hands on you!
Now sit quiet until called upon. Your time is coming soon, and you will help us, or face the consequence. What consequence? What will you do with us if we don't help you?
I believe Captain Empty is planning to pull something out of Earth's own history. A punishment referred to as walking the plank. How can we possibly walk a plank from a spaceship? There is no air, no gravity in space. How can we walk or breathe outside this ship?
That will be your problem, Mr. Jingles, not ours.